millionaire man of the people, Mick Lynch, is showing his true colours now.
You know what nudge the needle means?
No.
Okay, it means that it's changed your mind about where you were on this industrial action.
No.
So it hasn't. You were against it from the start, and you're still against it now.
I'm against people on way above average wages claiming poverty in the first place. Above.
Boris Johnson had to borrow £800,000, didn't he, just to get through the day?
I didn't know we were talking about Boris Johnson.
We're talking about people on above average wages who can't cope on the money they're on, aren't we?
I'm talking about people in the north who earn less than £20,000 a year for full-time work.
Yeah.
The reality of these out-of-touch people in London.
Mick Lynch is the out-of-touch person in London, is he?
Does he live in London?
Yes, he does. But let's talk about
Does he earn over £100,000 a year? Has he just insulted the people of the north?
Which is set by his members. Let's talk about RMT members who are on much smaller salaries who voted for strike action. So I understand the effectiveness of the invitation for people who don't like thinking about things to focus on Mick Lynch, but let's talk about RMT workers on, let's say, £23,000 a year who have voted for this industrial action. Let's address them rather than the man they elected, the man they elected as their general secretary. So tell them they're out of touch and overpaid.
Well, I wouldn't say they were. They're entitled to do what they like. They're entitled to strike. But the fact that he's chosen these particular dates,
yes,
and some of the other unions have particularly chosen convenient dates to be the most spiteful, just shows how politically orientated these strikes are.
These are the most spiteful dates.
Well, I just think that he's not been in the news for a couple of weeks, so he sat back, weighed up the situation, and just thought, I'll get back in the news again now. So,
okay. So trying to disrupt the FA Cup final or the Eurovision Song Contest as the most spiteful act so far. I just wonder if you could address people listening to this who've had quite serious operations postponed as to why disrupting the football is worse than disrupting their healthcare.
I'm sure they're already disgusted at unions anyway.
They ring me in their droves to tell me that they support the industrial action even though it's affecting them directly. So just a quick word to them on why messing with the football is worse than messing with their healthcare.
The two things don't have to be compatible at the end of the day.
That's the question I'm asking you,
Mick Lynch is
your phrase was most spiteful. So, most means more spiteful than actions that might interfere with healthcare or important appointments, crucial appointments. I just in your own words, why is the football more important than everything else that gets disrupted when industrial action is taken?
I didn't say it was.
You said most spiteful. So why is it more spiteful to interfere with the football than it is to interfere with anything else?
Trains and health aren't linked, are they? At the end of the day,
of course they are. Football and trains are linked just as much as health and train. You need to get to the hospital. You need to get to a football match, mate. The only difference is you can't watch the operation on the telly. So why is it more spiteful to disrupt football than it is to disrupt, for example, a journey to a hospital?
The people who basically in the health service.
No, I'm asking you what your thoughts are.
My thoughts
on why football is more important than healthcare.
Like I just said, they're not linked in any way.
How do I get to the hospital on a train if the train isn't running, Matt?
You ring an ambulance, but they're all on strike, so you can't get one.
No, you don't ring an ambulance. You don't ring an ambulance for a scheduled appointment, Matt. Don't start lying, Matt. That doesn't help either of us. How do I get to my hospital appointment, my scheduled hospital appointment in a non-emergency scenario on a train if the trains aren't running?
You ring an ambulance or you get a lift.
No, you don't.
And like I said,
you can do that to the football.
Totally separate entities.
Why can't you get a lift to the football?
The clubs themselves will probably put coaches on to circumnavigate.
So the football is going to be disrupted less. It's going to be disrupted less than the healthcare.
I'm not bothered whether the football's affected at all. I'm bothered that Mick Lynch is a con man and he's a media opportunist and people like you defend him.
I'm not defending him. I'm just asking you really simple questions that you can't answer.
I answered them.
No, I'm sorry, that you can't answer sensibly or
Healthcare
substantively.
and train companies are not the same thing.
Okay, Matt.
One does
Have you got a
one
ticket?
spiteful thing.
Have you got a ticket for the game?
No, I don't go to London. I don't like it because of people like you.